Hi, I'm Rico.
I'm Lindsey.
This is the game plan.
Welcome.
We're going to be doing a little chat about TokenCon. It's not really a top 5 or anything.
No.
We went to TokenCon in Oklahoma City recently, and it was a lot of fun.
Fantastic.
So we wanted to just kind of chat about some of our favorite things.
Yeah. Also, welcome to our game room. We've been
yes.
having some construction done on our house, and we've been recording in the kitchen. But our game room has now opened up, and we're so excited. It was 4 months of construction, so.
Yeah, and we're still working on lighting and stuff, so
Yeah.
I know we're kind of zoomed in. I don't know if you want to see this mug as much, but yeah, bear with us. We're going to work on all that and get this figured out, and then hopefully it'll look a little easier. I don't know that we're going to ever go like studio quality.
Yeah, no.
But at least it make it so it's not so washed out and weird looking colors.
So, bear with us. So we really enjoyed TokenCon. It is in Oklahoma City, and they have a really good board game community there. The people that were in charge of the con were our friends Mike and Paul, who we met a few years ago at a game convention. And I just like seeing those guys.
Yeah.
I thought we got to play a game with Mike. We didn't get to play anything with Paul, but we went out to dinner with him. So we got to spend a little bit of time with them. So I like those guys. They're cool guys.
Yeah, they are, definitely. And the con that they put on there, I'm so jealous because really it's just their board game community that just decides, we'll just do a few big days of gaming. The Oklahoma City board game community is the best I've seen as far as like a local city. They have pretty much something every night in different locations all over the city, and they're attended like dozens of people per event every night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
They have a game collection for the game group.
Yeah.
It's not like each person has their own collection. They actually manage a collection for the community, which is amazing.
So if anybody ever wants to pull that kind of thing off in the Tampa, Florida area,
Pinellas County.
I'll help you out.
Yep.
I'll attend. Anyway, so we're gonna kind of go over maybe the highlights of the con.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to describe a con if you don't compare it to another con. I don't really want to do that, but why don't you go ahead and.
Last year it was just a day and a half, and this year they added a whole nother day on, so I liked that. They used the space a little better this year. It was improved from last year, and last year was a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
So I just think they worked out some of the kinks a little better this year.
The first year, so last year was the first year, this year was the second, obviously. The first year was a day and a half, this year was almost 3 full days. Yeah. They end at the typical like 6 o'clock p.m. on Sunday or something and do their little closing ceremonies thing. But yeah, it definitely felt like the first year was just not enough, and this year feels really nice. I know a lot of people have liked moving into the longer cons, 4 or 5 days, but those sometimes it's just harder to plan for them, right? Like take more days off of work, and it's just more expensive to travel there, all that. So this 3-day, it felt like it was pretty good.
It was good. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I like that too. So for me, definitely the attendance size I thought was awesome. We had, I don't know what the exact numbers were. I'll put them in the link below or in the comments below not the description below. I'll put them in the description below. I'm going to reach out and find out what the numbers were for the first year. I know they said for this year it was about 450. Mm-hmm. And it was a fair jump larger this year than it was the first year. So I'm going to guess it was around 250, maybe 275-ish the first year. And it felt a little small. And then this year, I'm like, this to me is almost perfect. Like,
it's a sweet spot.
Yeah, I really don't want to see anything more than like 1,000, 1,500. And the size of the venue for TokenCon is smaller than most. And so I think if you were to go north of maybe 600 people, it would just be too much.
Cramped.
So it felt really good for the size. I really liked it.
Yeah. Yep. We also met some really cool people there for the first time this year. We ended up playing a few games with a guy named Will.
Yeah.
He was really cool.
Good guy.
Yeah. He was a pilot instructor for the Air Force.
Yeah.
Which just kind of blew my mind. I thought he was cool. We played Scythe with Eric, and we played Tapestry with Scott and Trisha.
Yeah.
All those guys were cool.
They were all great. Trisha just destroyed us in Tapestry.
She did. She
made us look like
killed
clowns.
It. Yeah.
It
she
was,
also had really cool hair.
Yeah, she really did. As far as the Tapestry thing goes, I thought it was kind of interesting because I looked online to kind of just read up, like, what are people's thoughts on this. I was having my own thoughts about it, of course, and I saw that the average rating on BGG is like weight, not score, but weight, was 2.83.
Okay.
And Charterstone, which of course is another Stonemaier game, 2.85. People thought Charterstone was more complex than Tapestry. I'm like, no.
That's odd.
So I looked into this a little bit more, right? And I was just like, what's going on? And I realized not only did we do poorly against Trisha, but we all just did horribly because the game says that a decent score is like 300 points.
Oh, I thought it was 200.
No, 300.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, okay, because she scored like 160 something like that, and we were like, I think most of us
I was
had
like
just
107.
just broke 100.
Yeah.
So, wow.
We're gonna have to play that again.
Yeah, I definitely want to play it, and thankfully we did get it pre-ordered, so we do own it.
We have it, and thanks to Mike for teaching it.
Yeah, don't have to trudge through that rule book.
Yeah. That was a fun game though.
It was.
I really liked that.
It like Scythe for me is one that I find myself keep thinking about over. So Scythe, when I first played it, I didn't get the Kickstarter. I didn't scramble to get it. I wasn't really into the hype or anything. And probably a year after it had come out is when the first time I played it. And I was introduced to it as a 3-player game, and it seemed fine. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was a good game. I'd play it again, type of a thing. And then week after week, I just kept thinking about, man, next time I play that, I'm gonna go with that. And I read in like the rule book a little bit, online, seeing what it's about, or just kind of poking at it all the time for months and months and months. I was doing this and finding like, damn it, I need this game.
Yeah, it wasn't like an immediate fall in love with it. It was like a slow.
Yeah, it was a slow burn. It was. Yeah, I was in it for the long game on that one, and it turned out. I got it. I knew I was. I knew at that point. I like this, and I'm ready to go more into it. And when I got it, I didn't know it would be my number one game of all time. But it didn't surprise me when it very quickly went there. I'm finding
Tapestry's rubbing you the same way.
It is. I'm having the same thing happen with Tapestry. I keep going back to it, thinking about what things I might change and try. And
I've been thinking about it too.
And there's
a lot of different avenues to take there, so it'd be interesting to play it again.
Yeah, and this isn't like I do this with all games where I'm like, I would do that differently or this differently, but it doesn't. I don't come up like random every Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. stop and have a moment to think of, it's these special games that I do that, and this is what I mean by that. Like, I'm going back to it all the time.
Yeah. So that was a big highlight.
I also enjoyed Virage. We played with
Virage was fun.
Will and Brendan, and they both kicked our butts.
Yeah, they picked it up really quickly.
Yeah. We've played several times. Yeah. They were both new to the game.
I've never been good at that game, but it's just fun to try.
Yeah. And they did very, very well. Will went to a dominating first, I'd say 3/4 of the game. It looked like he was gonna win this. And then Brendan made a comeback and just like his engine was built and he knew what he was doing. It was really good.
And I beat Rico, so that was a highlight for me.
I did the worst I've ever done in a game. And I like to say that the teacher often does poorly
because he's helping everybody else play. So that's understandable. I'm still going to take it as a win.
It's just one of those...
That game's tough.
Yeah, and to try and keep an eye on what the new players are doing so that they don't find themselves... Because in a game like that, it can be very unforgiving if you don't make optimal moves. And when you're so focused on making sure that other people are doing optimally...
You don't do optimally.
And then it comes to your turn, like, well, I can try and optimize and slow everything down like an asshole. Yeah. Or I can just go with my gut and keep the game moving and make sure that everybody's having fun. And that's usually what I tend toward.
Yeah.
I look and see, like, okay, I have 5 options. This one looks like it could be good. That one looks like it could be good. That one looks better. I'll go with that one. I don't go through the process I normally would. And so that's why
you don't have that downtime in between turns because you're focused too much on what everybody else is doing. So it's understandable.
I'm going with that.
You still had fun.
I did. So much. That game... So that game was my 2019 best of, and I didn't think for a minute that there would be anything out there that could touch it. And I have a feeling that 2, 3, 4 more plays of Tapestry may push it. Because right now, Virage definitely still. Yeah. I definitely have a little more experience in diving into what it gives. But Tapestry, I could see nudging it around.
Yeah, I like Tapestry. What else?
What was your surprise of the con? What was
Burger Up.
Burger Up?
Yeah.
That was fun.
It's just a light little filler, but it was so much fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot to think about. Well, there's a lot to plan out on that one.
Yeah.
So
Little
I really
little
liked
bit
it.
of push your luck.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to build. So it's essentially. You can think of it as people ordering burgers from your burger joint, and you're trying to build the burger to satisfy their minimum requirement. So they may say, I want 2 different types of meat and 2 different types of vegetables. Well, that doesn't mean I can't put 5 different types of meat and 6 different types of vegetables and make a huge sandwich and make tons of points. But someone else might beat me to fulfilling that order.
There's 3 orders laying out. And
if I take too long. So. But yeah, like I think that push your luck element is probably the most pronounced in that game. And I'm not typically a push your luck fan, but it just worked so well. It was so fast. It was so delightful. Like the artwork and kind of the presentation of what you're doing was just neat and fun. That was a good one. And then we won it as a play to win.
That's true. Rico won it, so we got to bring it home with us.
Yeah,
that was great.
That was an awesome bonus.
Yeah,
I did not expect that. So that was really cool.
We never win anything. Well, we never win anything we want to win.
Yeah, we have won a play to. I mean, we go to cons all the time, so it's not like every other con we get something. We've gotten now 2 things, but the first thing we got was a play to win. That when we played it, we realized within the first 2 minutes that this is not going to be a fun game. We did not enjoy it. So when we got it as a play to win, I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess we can get rid of that. So it wasn't exciting, but this one was like, hey, and I actually did like it.
It was delightful.
Very good game.
So that was the surprise of liking the game and then winning it and getting to bring it home. So I liked that.
My surprise, and I shouldn't be a surprise, but my surprise is Sentient.
That was a surprise too. Yeah, it was.
I had heard about the game. I've heard people saying basically since it has come out. So it's been probably over 1.5 years, 2 years, I think, since it's come out, that it was good, and that I kind of got the vibe that it was something that I'd probably enjoy. But I was still surprised. It was better than I thought it would be. That was really good.
When Rico was like bringing it out and setting it up, it was the end of the day. I was a little bit tired. We had dinner and everything, and I was like, okay, let's just get through this last game, and then I can go lay down. But then it was really fun. Like it was really engaging once you got going. Yeah. That was a good surprise.
If anybody has any experience with World's Fair 1893, it reminded me of very, very good deal like that in the you have area control that you're then gaining things to get set collection, right? And then based off of how you've established your set collection and the area control, that combination is going to get you points. It's got that exact same concept, but implemented completely differently. And I love World's Fair. Great game. But I could see this one replacing it outright because it plays faster. Yeah. It just plays faster. And it's there's a little bit of that whole plus minus with the numbers puzzle. You get a little bit of that with World's Fair in the inventor cards where they have little bonuses. But this one just makes it seem more puzzly, because with World's Fair, the bonuses that you get can vary from increasing something there or putting an extra one there, those types of things. Whereas this one is every time you play, you just have to go through that puzzle. Yeah. So you can plan really far ahead. That's the difference. Is with World's Fair, even though they exist, you can't really plan a turn maybe 2 in advance. I mean, by the time it comes to your second turn, so much of the board has changed, it may not even be worth. Whereas in Sentient, you can plan ahead, so it can move more quickly.
Yeah, I liked it.
Aces.
I'm not the biggest World's Fair fan, and I really liked this one, so I wouldn't mind it replacing World's Fair.
Yeah, I think it will.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. It's not as cute.
Yeah,
looking.
The theme.
The theme is way different.
To me, the theme in World's Fair is as appealing as it gets. It's so unique. It's so interesting.
And it's got like the actual facts about the World's Fair and the cards and stuff.
Culturally, it's significant. Yeah. I mean, it in that sense, it's educational. I think there's a lot of love that went into that theme and making sure that world came to. I mean, it was our world. That it comes to life well, and they did such a great job there. There's no way like Sentient's just some cyberpunk RPG world. Like it. To me, that's bleh, whatever. But the game itself is definitely, I think, a streamlined, better version.
I agree.
It's hard. It's tough for me to say that too because I love
he does
World's
love
Fair.
World's Fair. He destroys me in it.
Any other?
When we played Just One.
Yeah, we
With
played.
how many people? At 9?
Seven.
I always want to add a couple people. We played Just One with 7 people.
Yeah.
So much fun. We did 2 rounds of 11. And I would have kept going.
Yeah.
I was having a great time.
It was about an hour. I mean, it went fairly quickly. A couple
Yeah.
games about an hour, and our previous plays of Just One we didn't really do the scoring thing. You know? It's more
we
of the
just
activity.
kept going. Yeah.
And this one was interesting. Like, oh, that's how it scores. Okay. I
We
mean,
actually learned that.
to me, it's still just the activity. I don't even care what
Yeah.
we score. But we played with Joel Eddy of the
Drive-thru.
board game drive-thru, I
Yeah.
think it's called. I'm familiar with the channel. Haven't watched it a great deal, but he
He was a cool guy.
yeah, he's a very cool guy. When we had the opportunity to go out to dinner with our friend, he was there with us as well. He was a special guest at the con, and so we got to chat with him about all sorts of stuff. His love for rugby and yeah, real cool guy.
Yeah, he was.
I'd like to catch up with him at a con again.
And we got to play with Mike and Miranda, who are Oklahoma City board game folks.
It's hard to play a game with those people because they're so busy. I mean,
Yeah.
they're putting the con on, right?
Yeah.
So the chance of finding 10 minutes to play a game is pretty low. And the fact that we got to play with him, the 2 years we've gone, that was the only time we've got to play with one
Yeah,
of those.
that's
It was
true.
really special. So we were happy.
They're just running around the whole time. Bless them.
Yeah, they did such a good job.
Yeah.
Such a good job.
Good job, guys.
And I'm gonna post some images. Hopefully, I don't know. We're kind of squished, I know, but maybe some image or just overlay some images of some of the art. Oh, you've got.
Oh, yeah, I have my TokenCon shirt on.
They
This
have.
is Ken the Yeti.
Yeah,
Brandon Anderson does all the art, and
he's really
that
good.
dude is amazing.
Yeah, like he there's tons. I'll try and post a bunch of because it wasn't just the T-shirt. There are tons of little flyers and things that they had all over the con that he had done, and really talented guy.
So, I just had a great time at TokenCon 2019. Thanks, guys, for putting that on.
I plan to attend next year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure out a way to make it
Yeah,
happen.
we're really trying. We got a big trip coming up next year, so around the same time. So we'll try and get down there, get over there.
figure it out.
Yeah.
Early October is when they the first 2 years. I think their plan is the same
I think so.
time frame. So like the first weekend in October type
Yeah.
of a thing. So if you find yourself available, Oklahoma City is a super cheap city as far as travel arrangements. It's the cost of going there was it was less than the cost of going to a con that we drive an hour and a half to. So
Sure.
definitely worth the money in my opinion.
Yeah, it was great. Beautiful weather. It was just a good time. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any comments or questions or anything, let us know.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see you at TokenCon next year.
Yeah.